Hello and welcome to another video from Midas Touch Toys, Games, Collectibles. And today, well, we're looking at something that's now quite old, has become very collectible and rather difficult to find now, especially in this amazing condition. We are looking at the 1994 release by IPI from their series of electronic Star Trek communicators. And the one we're looking at today is the original series communicator as featured in the original series of Star Trek. Now, the original series of Star Trek ran from 1966 through to 1969. It was set in the Milky Way galaxy some 300 years in the future, so circa 2266 to 2269. The ship and the crew were commanded by Captain James T. Kirk, aka William Shatner, and his first officer, the Vulcan science officer, Mr. Spock, as portrayed by the late great Leonard Nimoy, and of course none other than his chief medical officer, Lieutenant Bones McCoy, as played by the late great DeForest Kelley. Interesting show. The opening scene had the voiceover of William Shatner saying those are mortal words, the space of final frontier. Now, the series ran for 3 seasons, season 1, season 2, season 3. They were 50-minute episodes approximately, and there was 79 episodes produced overall. And incidentally, the budget per season, going back some time ago, so the whole season, the first season the budget was $190,000, the second season was $185,000, and the last season was $175,000. So you can see how much that changed compared to what it is today. When you think about the Next Generation was about $1.3 million per episode, so huge difference there. Anyway, let's not diverse any further. This is the item in front of us, and this is the card it comes on, and it says Star Trek Communicator Keychain. Flips open to produce authentic sound and flashing lights, and there you can see an image of Captain James T. Kirk holding his communicator from an TV episode of Star Trek. Okay, that's the front of the card. Let's turn the card around and see what we got printed on the back. Okay, so I've turned the card around and this is what it's got on the back. So it's got Star Trek Communicator Keychain. Before operating, open battery hatch as shown in diagram. Remove plastic tab. Replace battery hatch. Battery replacement. Open battery hatch as shown in diagram. Note position of batteries. Replace in same position with LR44 and ACE or A76 batteries. And additional keychains available. It's Star Trek tricorder, Star Trek sound effects, Star Trek The Next Generation sound effects, Star Trek Next Generation Phaser Type 1, and Star Trek The Next Generation tricorder. And it says, join the official Star Trek fan club today, only $16.95 by calling 1-800-TRUE-FAN and use your Visa or MasterCard. Copyright 1995, Paramount Pictures, all rights reserved, Star Trek and registered trademarks of Paramount Pictures. And you've got the IPI address down there as well, and the item number, which is RW4000, printed and made in China, and you've got the barcode on the bottom right hand corner. Okay, that is the back of the card and the front of the card. Let's now open the packet and take the communicator out. Now, this packet has been opened and it was resealed. It was used, this particular item was used as a display item. They used all of the items that you can see on the back of the card in a display back in the 1990s, the mid-90s, in a shop counter display, and when that display came to an end, they was returned to the cards and put into storage, and that's where they stayed until we went in and we bought out all their stock. Anyway, let's not diverse any further. Let's open the card up and let's have a look at the keyring itself. Okay, so I've removed the item from the packet, and this is what we've got, and I've opened the lid there just to show you what it's like inside. And then we also get this little warranty card. Not quite sure what this is. So it's a limited warranty, Interstellar Production Inc. does hereby warrant that this product will be free from defects in material and workmanship for a period of 1 year from the time of purchase. Within the warranty period, if the item is defected or workmanship or materials, the warranty will repair or replace the product. Okay, so it's an old warranty. Obviously, it's not going to be valid now. This is 1995. For replacement batteries, send $2.50 per set, 2 batteries per set to... It's actually 3 batteries per set. Oh, so you got to spend $2.50. Oh, because you got to buy 2 lots to Interstellar Productions in Colorado, and just say batteries, please. There we are. But that's obviously 30 years old, so the warranty is not going to be worth the paper it's printed on, unfortunately. But there we are. Anyway, this is the communicator we have in front of us. Now, it's not full size. It is 1/4 size. Now, I have put batteries in it. You basically, let's just open it up so you can see at the back there. So I've replaced the 3 batteries. I put 3 new batteries in there. And as I've closed, just very simply go in there. Shows you on the back of the card how to do it. Oops. Didn't put that on very well, did I? Let's just slot that back into position. There we go. And then when we flick the, you can see that it lights up, and this, you get the sound effects. You can see it actually flashing through the cover there. But there we are. So it's not that particularly loud, which is probably a good thing, because you don't want to hear it all the time in your pocket. But it is a great novelty thing, and you can just imagine yourself as Captain Kirk on the planet, flipping up to contact the ship. So yeah, a nice, obviously there's no functionality. The buttons don't actually work on there, and the dial doesn't do anything. It's just literally a model. But it's the great thing is the lights and the sound. You've got that chirping noise when you flip it open. Although it doesn't appear to be very loud for some reason. I don't know whether it's meant to be any louder or not, but maybe not. Okay, so that's that. Let's just get some sizes of this, because it's I want to show you the actual size of it. So it's only 7 centimeters tall or long by 3.5 centimeters wide, and the widest point here is 2 centimeters, and it's on a keychain, which is 4 centimeters for the keychain plus 2 centimeters for the ring at the top. So it's not particularly big. It's very small. It fits in a child's hand. It will fit in a child's hands perfectly and be the right size. For an adult, it's a little bit small, but if you want it as a key ring, which is what it was meant to be, it's not going to be very big. But it's great because over you flip and that chirping sort of noise is there, and you get the you get the lights as you open it up. If you close it quick enough, you can still see the lights flashing through the lid there. I think it's a great little gimmick. I do. I really like this. And I was a lover of the original Series Communicator, because it was something that you carried around with you, clip it off your belt, and then you could play with it. So yeah, terrific item that is. Okay, now you're going to ask me how well these items did back in 1995. Well, 1995 Star Trek was huge. It was probably at its peak. It was at that time probably the biggest sci-fi franchise in the world. It was bigger than Star Wars at that time. Star Wars had been the biggest. However, the lull between the Return of the Jedi and the announcement of the new movie trilogy, the series kind of like the popularity of Star Wars kind of like drifted away. However, with Star Trek, the popularity just grew, simply because of they launched Star Trek Next Generation. So you'd had Star Trek the original series, you'd had the animated series, You had the movies. So at 1995, you'd had the motion picture, the Wrath of Khan, the Voyage Home, the Search for Spock, the Voyage Home, the Final Frontier, and the Undiscovered Country. Obviously, Star Trek Next Generation was launched in 1988, and that had an immediate success on the series. It was probably the biggest sci-fi series ever to be on the NBC network, and just absolutely swarmed the popularity of Star Trek. And then, of course, we had Deep Space Nine, and then by 1994, Star Trek Next Generation had gone to the movies, and we'd had Star Trek Generations, and we were expecting the release of the new movie Star Trek First Contact. And of course, Star Trek Voyager was about to hit the airwaves as the brand new Star Trek series. So it was absolutely huge. Every piece of merchandise that came out for Star Trek was just sold out. It just went and flew off the shelves as it was released. Now these key rings, they were released by, or in the UK, they were distributed by a company called Downpace. And Downpace used to have reps that come into your shop, and they bring you all the samples, and they bring you catalogues of what was coming through, so you would all pre-order. And with these, we had a rotating stand, and we had loads and loads of key rings that came, these electronic key rings that came and went onto the stand, as well as just your standard key rings. They did a lot of standard key rings as well, but the electronic ones were the ones that everybody wanted. And I remember when we first had that stand up in the shop, and the key rings on it, the Saturday that we first put it out, our shop was packed with people coming in and taking one of each of these key rings. I can't remember exactly how much they were at the time. It might have been about £5 each one, from what I can remember, vaguely remember. You know, we are going back 30 years. But we just had a queue of people coming to the counter with one of each of these. Our regular customers coming to the counter with one of each of these in their basket and just buying the lot for their collection. So it was a very, very big thing. We sold out of them very, very quickly. I think that first weekend we sold out of them, and then we had to wait for more stock to come in. And it was just a regular sale item. Anyone that come in would just loved to buy these key rings. So it was a very, very big, very, very popular. I don't know the exact numbers that were produced, but they did a fantastic job and sold, well, untold amounts. So let's move forward 30 years. Do these key rings come up very often on the platforms nowadays? No, not that often now, I'm sorry to say. You do see some of them pop up from time to time. You very rarely see a whole set on the platforms nowadays. Obviously, these are 30 years old, so they weren't designed really to last 30 years. They were a key ring, so designed for you to put with your keys, use them, and when they break, you throw them away. Simply how they were. Back in the day, they didn't really make them expecting to see them last 30 years on. So no. So the answer to that is no, you don't see them that often on the platforms. When you do, you very rarely see them in the packet. I very rarely see them in this mint condition. They've obviously had some use and been used as keyring or been played with or what have you. Finding them in this condition, very, very difficult. And also be aware, if you are buying on a platform, if you do find one on a platform, just be very careful that that what you're about to order is the item you're looking at, because a lot of the platforms use stock photographs, and if you're looking at a stock photograph and stock description, you might not actually be ordering what you're looking at, because some of the platforms, if they don't have new, they automatically supply you with used. So if it doesn't say new, if it says used available, click the used link and have a read of the item you're about to order. Otherwise you could be disappointed when it arrives. However, We at Midas Touch, we do not believe in stock photographs. So what you actually see in front of you is the item that you will actually receive should you wish to order it. Now, just a little background on this. As I said before, this is a former shop display item. It was put into a display which it was on display for about 6 months, I think the owners of the shop told us. And then they took them out and took the batteries out, popped them back in a card and just put them in the storeroom, and there they stayed. They never did anything else with them. They were just obviously too busy running the shop to worry about all their former display items that were sitting in a box in the back of the stockroom. And there they stayed until they decided to retire. They did come back after COVID and couldn't make it work. Decided to retire, and fortunately we were called in, and we made an offer on all their stock, and we were fortunate enough to be able to buy it. And the whole lot of these former display key rings came with it. So the card has been opened. It has actually been, or it has been actually very neatly resealed. So it still looks very, very good on the card. But it has been opened, and we have installed new batteries. So what you see in front of us with the working batteries is the item that you will receive should you wish to order it. And this item, as of now, is available to purchase on the Midas Touch website, which you can get to very simply by clicking the link below. It will take you straight to the website, where you'll be able to find this and many, many other vintage Star Trek items. And many other vintage toys, games and collectibles come to that. There's over 10,000 products currently available on the website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we're uploading videos for every new item that goes into the website. There will be something for everybody. And I am absolutely positive this is something that you're not going to want to miss, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new items which we're shooting videos for and uploading on a daily basis. So if there's something in particular you are looking for, something old that you've never been able to find, something quirky you might want to buy for a friend, or perhaps just something from your childhood that you'd like to own again to help you recuperate those long lost childhood memories, well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know the next item we upload could be that item you've been looking for. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I do hope you've enjoyed reviewing this wonderful, wonderful electronic Star Trek communicator key chain with me. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next video. So bye for now.